him on social. It gets a little crazy, but it's highly entertaining.
Right.
All of which Bill Belichick does not love. Mac Jones, obviously, is the flip side. He doesn't have much to say to the media.
Right.
Just
where'd he come from? Alabama. You don't say a whole lot. Yeah, you don't be doing a whole lot of talking.
Yeah. The less you say, the better to the media. That's what he's been taught from the start. He's a hard worker. He's all those cliches. He's all those old school things. He's mentally tough. He's physically tough, blah, blah, blah. We get it. That's the Belichickian way. That's who he's going to be more comfortable with going forward. And that would be the one where you could say, I stole that kid with the 15th overall pick. And Cam came to him, obviously, as a free agent. And Cam won an MVP 2015 for Carolina, not for Bill Belichick. So he didn't raise Cam. He didn't. He didn't show him the way. He didn't teach him everything he knows about playing in the NFL. Cam already knew. And Cam had some monster games last year and got COVID. And it feels like COVID is doing in Cam a second time, or at least the protocol is doing him in. So it'll be interesting to see what the reports are today. Did Cam go back to getting first-string snaps? Did he get his opportunity to regain some stature? Against the Giants again.
Skip, remember I told you yesterday, the normal protocol is in a 10-play, series, what they do, they break it up in plays. You get 10 plays. The starter would normally take 7 to 8 reps. Then the backup comes in, he gets 2 snaps. Well, in 2 snaps, Skip, you got to press. It's like I was in college. I told my coach, I can't keep alternating. I run 2 plays, the other guy comes in for 2 plays. Let's just put the job up, and whoever wins, they the starter.
Fair enough.
Well, now all of a sudden, Mac Jones, he doesn't have to press because he's getting 2 plays. I'm getting 8 plays. So now I can relax knowing that I don't have to make something happen just in the 2 plays that I'm in the ball game. And it seems to me, he relaxed yesterday. Because I don't Skip in a team setting, and I get it, having been in those situations, even though in a joint session, Skip, guys still are not trying to let you catch the football now. They're doing a lot of holding and tugging. Because, I mean, a lot of times we had joint practice, we always had officials. And it's like, okay, that would have been a flag there. You know, they letting them know. But they still...
Because you're not going to get penalized.
Right.
That is good that they say, hey.
I would have called a flag. But, Skip, they clutching and grabbing because they're not trying to let you catch passes because you catch a pass on them, your side, the other side is oohing and ahhing like, oh, man, he cooking you. And I don't want to hear that.
And there is a whole lot. In fact, I think, from my experience, there's way more talking in these sessions than in a real game.
Skip, because you can hear. There ain't no 80,000. You can't hear what's going on. You try to yell across the field. I can hear it's calm. So I can yell, oh, man, he cooked you. And you can't do anything with easy and cooking you.
And on top of that, this is 90 degrees in the Northeast with probably 90% humidity, right?
Yes.
And it is miserable out there. And so the longer it goes, the worse you feel. And if you're getting cooked, now you feel like I'm going to fight back.
And these are the kind of conditions that Coach Belichick believes that teams and guys are made. 90 degrees, the high humidity. You're tired. It's the dog days. We're coming up on a game in less than 2 days away. Who can focus in, get the task at hand done? Coach Belichick loves these moments, Skip, because remember when they was talking about Deflategate, he's talking about how I freeze the ball, I wet them. He'll put the guys in different situations because guess what? These are the kind of situations that you're going to face in the game. And I want to know who can handle those kinds of conditions come game time. I can assure you, he loved what he saw yesterday from Mac Jones. That's why he went over there. How many other guys did he go over there to that was on one knee? Because I'm sure Mac Jones wasn't the only one that was tired. Who else did he go over to? And good job, son.
Nobody. It's always the anti-Brady. It's Garoppolo that he texts and says, good game when he goes to San Francisco, right? And it's Mac Jones he's giving a little low 5 to, right? Okay, that brings up this final scenario. Let's just do the what if. What if Mac Jones starts game 1? Where is Cam Newton now? What happens? Do you keep Cam as your quote-unquote backup quarter? I can't even imagine Cam as a backup. But furthermore, you talk about not pressing. Do you really want Cam looking over the shoulder pads of Mac Jones as he tries to step into the winged cleats of Tom Brady in Foxborough in the opener? Do you really want that?
It's there. It's real, Skip, and I'm not so sure had he not missed these practices because of COVID protocol. I'm not so sure he still wasn't going to be looking over his shoulder. This kid has impressed in the preseason.
So if you're Belichick, do you keep Cam as your backup if you're going to go with Mac?
I would.
Would you?
Yes, I would.
Well, that's going to heap even more pressure on Mac Jones.
Don't worry about
because
Mac.
Brian Hoyer would provide little to no pressure.
Correct, but here's the thing, Skip. This kid has faced pressure. He knows what it was like to back up Hurts, back up Tua. Then all of a sudden he get his chance, and even they had the #1 dual threat brief. That's what practice is all about. You can lose at Alabama. It's competition, Skip. All these guys are trying to get up there and show. Why do you think these guys leave? Because you could easily have a great season one year and then somebody come up and take your job and you sitting there like, hold on, that guy just won some award last year. Why is he splitting time? Because the guy that was behind him is hungry. So I don't worry about Mac Jones feeling the pressure.
Well,
or worried
obviously
about competition.
Cam would provide a much safer safety net than Brian Hoyer would.
Yeah.
But still, I don't know if Belichick would do that. I'm not sure. It'd be if he blesses Mac Jones in game one, he may just say, this is where we're headed, and I'm going to let Cam go find another job elsewhere.
Well, I'm going 52-48.
Okay, that
Cam Newton starts.
Okay.
52-48.
52-48.
Yep.
I'm going 92%. 92% that Mac Jones won the job yesterday.
Right.
It just feels like that's where it just headed.
They said he looked good.
Yep.
I mean, all the reports I read is that he looked outstanding. Not good, outstanding.
Outstanding. Those are strong words. Okay, guys, we got to move on for now as this one will play out in front of us. The Athletic conducted a survey of 33 agents and got their opinions on a variety of NFL topics, including the Cowboys, and not surprisingly, there were a lot of strong opinions about Jerry Jones. One agent went so far to describe Dallas as, quote, the best ownership group in sports, worst head coach in sports. Anything that begins and ends with mismanagement talk begins with who they hired as head coach. But nobody treats their players like them, has the facilities like them, is willing to spend the money to make sure everyone is the happiest. Nobody markets their organization better. Well, there's a lot there. Shannon, how much truth is there to the statement?
Not much. Skip, I'm a representative. Why wouldn't I like Jerry Jones? Because Jerry Jones going to overplay my clients. Jerry Jones going to spend money when I know my client is not worth that. Jerry Jones going to pay him just because Jerry wants him. But that's not how it works in football, Skip. On the business side, the way he's been able to grow the Cowboys, the way he's able to market the Cowboys is second to none.
Okay, well, that's the statement. That's what he's talking about. Best ownership group. That's the whole idea.
No. On that side, what about the ownership group on the football side?
Okay.
Because let me ask you a question. And in the survey, that says, okay, in 25 years, if Jerry Jones, how many GMs can keep their job if they're marred in mediocrity like Jerry Jones has kept his job?
That was a good question and statement, and I agree. I mean, he would have fired himself years ago.
20 years ago.
Yeah, at least 20.
Exactly.
Maybe 23 years ago.
And that's the problem. They say Mike McCarthy, but who hired Mike McCarthy? A coach at Dallas, since Bill Parcells, has the job in title only.
Okay.
They're not responsible for the final 53. They're not responsible for the draft. They don't get to talk about free agency once it hits. That's not what the coach does. Mike McCarthy has that title in name only. He does not have no say over the roster. Who plays, when they play. Kim, you heard him asking, what do you think about Zeke not playing in the preseason? What, you think any other coaches is asking the ownership that? No. That's my job. That's what you hired me to do. There's a reason why. When Jerry said, Skip, remember, he like, have a little beverage. Jerry said, they 500 coaches that can coach them. Well, he's gone through 400 of them and still hadn't got the results as Jimmy. He had that 1 year, but that was Jimmy's team. Jimmy had put that together.
I'll buy that.
Once they got past all of Jimmy got.
By the way, I have high respect for Barry Switzer. That was not easy what he pulled off. He almost did it twice. They got to the NFC Championship game and
94.
came within one bad call on my man Deion Sanders and your man. But whatever. The point was he did hold them together to win the next year's Super Bowl. Go ahead.
How many owners are the general manager? There's 32 teams. Now, I'm going to give you one guess. How many owners are also the general manager, the VP of operations? I just want you to tell me just how many.
Well,
one.
You know the answer.
Exactly.
And who did he learn from? The great Al Davis, who was the previous only one of those.
But Skip, because these jobs are so hard, that's why normal ownership, what do? They hire someone to do it.
Yep.
Because they're not there every day breaking down tape. They're not there every day watching film. So let me hire someone to do that. So they'll know who the top guys in college are, who the top free agents are come free agency. But Jerry has the title, does none of the film breakdown study, but gets all the credit.
Yeah.
When things go well. You see what they did? Ownership. Oh, Jerry will pay. Jerry has top facility skill. Phillips ain't got. In all my years, in 14 years, I've never yelled across there. And Cortez Kenny, friend of mine, rest in peace, Tez. Skip, I ain't never say, Tez, our facility is better than yours, bro. I don't know, y'all thought y'all might be winning this game, but y'all ain't living like we live. We stay at the Four Seasons. We stay at the Ritz-Carlton. They ain't got nothing to do with it. I understand he plays his players top notch, but sometimes he plays the wrong players. He meddles too much. Look at all the teams in the 25 years that's gone to Super Bowls, that's won multiple Super Bowls. The Patriots have won. Give it to you like this, and I'm going to turn it over to you. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers won the equivalent of postseason games 4, and the Cowboys has won in 25 years. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers won 4 postseason games last year.
With a brand new quarterback who's 43 years old. Go ahead.
The Cowboys won 4 in 25 years, but he's a great owner. You should have said that because he's made your pockets full.
Okay. I'm going to start with the second half of this statement that shocked me and knocked me off my chair last night. The worst coach in sports? I can't go that far. Worst. Mike McCarthy is the worst coach in all of. Well, what?
No.
Okay. No. I did applaud the hiring of Mike McCarthy, as you well remember, because he was a made man. Yeah. He actually, long ago, in a galaxy far, far away, he won a Super Bowl, maybe thanks to Aaron Rodgers, but he won it.
He did.
Made man. I looked last night at his record.
His record is not